Hello, and welcome back to another Traker video, where today I am going to be flying this big flying machine I made. You can see I've got two of them here, one that's facing the other way. These flying machines are big passenger flying machines with a capacity of 41 passengers. Not that that would ever happen because I don't know that many people, nor do I play on servers that much. You can see it's got two floors with passenger seats across two carriages. So there's one of the passenger seats above the stairs. It even has a toilet on board, so if someone was busting to go to the loo, they can go, I guess. Here's the cab of the flying machine. That has a staircase to the top so you can access the engine. And to start it, you throw a snowball at the target block. And you can see we are moving. This flying machine moves, I think, around 2.2 blocks per second, which for vehicles is not particularly fast, but for flying machines, it's a medium speed. It's the fastest you can go with pistons using observers. Because if you go any faster with observers, the observers cannot activate pistons fast enough, and it ends up stalling the flying machine. So the engine has one sticky piston with an observer pointed into it, and a non-sticky piston facing the other way with a redstone block that powers it. Next to the sticky piston is the target block that I use to start it, and the target block extends the sticky piston and retracts it, which pulls the flying machine forwards and starts the engine. Here I am exploring around the lower floor to have a look at the passenger area. You can see going up the stairs is a real struggle because you have to go against the movement of the flying machine. Here's the toilet while it's moving. And the water in the sink has gone green because we're going over a swamp. Wouldn't want to wash my hands in that. Now I just find it really interesting that you can be in this room in a moving flying machine that you can't really see very well out of. Like, it does have a window on it, but I intentionally covered the window with trapdoors to make it harder for people to see you doing your business on the toilet. The trapdoors also help push the observers along on that piston. So you can see the water changed colour as we changed biome there. So this flying machine has two distinct carriages. You can see there's two carpets missing in the cab, and that's because of the fact that there's things that I call a gangway, and that's just because it's the same terminology as a train. That's why I call these two carriages as well. And the gangways are the bits that I was walking across the two carriages. Anyway, here's the back of the flying machine. You can see a lot of pistons. I might make a tutorial how to build this, but one thing of note is this probably would not work on servers, which makes this completely pointless, this flying machine. Certain mods that servers use would break this flying machine, because there's stairs next to some of the slime and honey blocks on the carriages, which would put some of the pistons above the push limit. But for some reason, if they're being pushed by another piston on multiplayer without those mods, the pistons don't go above their push limits, and it allows it to continue moving. There is an easy fix to that though. You just replace some of these blocks, these stair blocks, with the glazed terracotta. So here I am in the passenger seat looking out the window. You can see a diagram of a subduction zone I made in the distance, because I do like volcanoes and subduction zones. It's a bit incomplete though, that diagram, because it's not very big and it just looks incomplete. So yeah, this is the flying machine I made that I can control from the inside, designed for carrying passengers, even though it probably wouldn't work on a lot of servers. But as I said, there is a fix, but you need to know about flying machines to implement the fix. So there I am going across the gangway looking through the windows, in another passenger seat in the rear carriage. Flying machines, piston flying machines have always fascinated me though. So I've always been kind of obsessed with them since I played Missile Wars for the first time. This is on the larger side of flying machines I've built. Definitely not the biggest, but it's quite large. And it would probably lag some people's computers out if you decided to try building this yourself. That being said, this video is not a tutorial to build the flying machine. If this video does well, I might do a tutorial how to build the flying machine, but it's quite complex and it would be very easy to get a block wrong. And the thing with flying machines is a single block wrong and the whole flying machine will break. The blocks that are not slime blocks, redstone blocks, or pistons, anything related with redstone basically, slime blocks and honey blocks, those can be replaced with but you kind of have to know what you're doing if you want to replace the blocks on the flying machine, otherwise the flying machine will break. There you can see I stopped the flying machine. Now the stopping mechanism uses a target block and a piston. The piston is extended, and because an extended piston can't be moved by other pistons, that stops the engine and stops the flying machine. So here I am going out of the flying machine to look at the engine. You can see I hit the wrong target block there. That's the one that stops the flying machine. You see all the piston extending. That's the one that starts it. Quite simple. And you can see the engine on the top pulls this sort of... There you can see I'm showing the piston that stops it up close. And you can see the engine pulls this sort of pull chain of pistons going across the roof. This pull chain goes down into the tail section, which goes through a lot of splitters which allow more blocks to be pushed. And then I just have a big wall of pistons which pushes the carriages along. I also have some cowling around the outside of the tail to make it look a bit nicer. Anyway, this is the end of the video, so if you didn't enjoy this video, remember to dislike and unsubscribe, and maybe you won't watch the next video.